Let's begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Podcast76. I am Ruskeydoo.
And I'm Grey.
And we're here to rant at you about Overwatch again.
Yeah, it's a weekly occurrence. We assume that everybody who listens to us is just, like, into self-abuse. That they just like...
They're just so obsessed with Overwatch. No, it's people who are obsessed with Overwatch and can't be bothered trawling the forums for what the developers have said each week.
Yeah, I think we also provide some colour commentary that's worthwhile, right? Like, we add some value, right?
Yeah, sure, why not? I'll go with that.
It makes me feel better about the whole thing.
Well, right, here's the thing. The question is, why do I podcast? And honestly, I enjoy the process of staying on top of all the Overwatch news with a purpose in mind.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of like having the whole documentation of the entire thing.
Yes. It's getting out of hand, really, isn't it? The way we have to scroll to get to the show notes that we want to use.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's just a bad filing system.
Yeah, we need a better filing system.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Anyway... Enough of our filing systems and such behind-the-scenes chicanery. Let me talk to you about what's happening this week. Never mind. Breathe. There has been an update. There are Lucio PTR changes, but only very subtle. Doomfist development talk at San Diego Comic-Con happened. There is a Zarya comic on the horizon. There's a ton of forum stuff. For competitive Overwatch, we're talking salaries. And you can support your team through Twitch.
Ish.
Which is a lot of alliteration. A lot of alliteration. That's autological.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
Self.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
That's a good word. I like that word. Yeah, it's nice.
Is autological?
No. Oh, no, maybe it is, because it depends what auto means. So does auto mean self? It does, doesn't it?
Self-describing, or like self... logical, obviously. So, okay, have I not ranted about this on the show? The classic autological word is pentasyllabic because it has five syllables.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. I guess whether autological is self-describing gets in a bit of a kind of logic loop, right?
Maybe.
Because if it is, and if it isn't, it doesn't. You know what?
Let's just move on. This is not a linguistics podcast.
Okay, so literally minutes before we recorded the show, hours, we've had a big update, which has had loads of stuff happen, but it's all stuff that has been lurking around the PTR like a bad smell for months, weeks. Not that long. So, 2 weeks. Doomfist is in.
Yep.
The loot box updates has happened.
Is good.
The highlight options has happened.
Many high five.
The custom game browser has happened.
Hey.
The custom reticles has happened.
Which I'm quite happy about.
The D.Va voice lines for defense matrixing stuff has happened. The Genji voice lines for deflecting stuff has happened.
I haven't actually heard all the voice lines for Genji, so I'm actually excited about this.
The Genji stuff is actually new. That's the thing. What's that on the PTR?
The PTR definitely had D.Va's. I think Genji had like a little sound which was super subtle.
Maybe it just flew below the radar.
But yeah, they may have added Genji's voice lines and I just never caught it. But
okay. McCree's flashbang kind of slowdown effect on people he hits has happened.
Will be interesting.
Reaper's quiet shadow step has happened.
Yeah. Oh, just actually really quick thing about the flashbang for McCree. What I want to know is if you're in the middle of a dash, does it stop the dash? Because I haven't tested that.
It should stop the dash.
Should it? Because it's not standard movement.
So
where does it stop you in the dash? Because at what point are you at?
What the stun does is... so I think... What I know of what the change to the flashbang has done is, say, Lucio is in an arcing jump. Normally the flashbang would hit him. He'd retain air momentum and land and be stunned.
Yes.
So what happened with the old dash in a flashbang?
You'd depends on at what stage of the dash he hit you, but usually if you did it just right, the flashbang would hit you, but you'd end on the other side of the dash. So you could end on the other side of the McCree.
So what I suspect has happened now is, and this is pure speculation, I have not tested this, that it'll hit you in the middle of the dash, but the momentum on the dash will be drastically reduced.
So my guess is it's going to work exactly the same.
As before?
As before.
Really?
Yeah. That's my guess.
Because you think there's no character momentum in the dash, it's just a bit of a fudge.
I think it's just like you are at a point A, you move in a straight line to point B, and there's no momentum there. Then again,
we'll test this later. We're literally conjecturing about a thing that anyone who's listening, if they care, could just jump into game and test.
Well, I hope someone does and writes to us, and then we can be like, yeah, we did that as well.
We could test it after the show. We should have tested this before the show.
No. We wanted to dive right in.
No. Reinhardt changes have gone through. So he's got a faster hammer swing and a load of better hit reg and such. And the biggest one, I feel, is that the Zarya Graviton Surge has gone through.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I'm really hoping that kind of slows down Mercy's, because like the Mercy's ability to get out of the Graviton was pretty damn good.
Yep, it was a thing.
Yeah, so...
do you remember ages ago, I told you about that bug where fire strikes could go through walls?
Oh, yes.
They fixed it.
Nice.
What other fixes did they have? Was there anything actually exciting?
There is one other thing which has gone under my radar until now. They've adjusted the respawn timing to limit defensive stalling strategies when the offensive team has a clear advantage and plays aggressively.
Yes.
Two thumbs up.
Yep.
2 thumbs up. It's just...
Oh, Reinhardt has some new axe lines as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice. Any idea what they are? Or just know that they're there?
Well, okay, right. Here's the thing, and this has just gone in. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but it says, and I'm assuming this is voice lines, it might actually just be noises? I don't know. The sound effects on Reinhardt's, Bloodheart, Blackheart, and Wujing skins, is it Wujing?
Wuxing.
Sure, whatever, have been updated to reflect the use of an axe instead of a hammer. Oh, maybe that's not the voice lines. Maybe that's just, it makes a shing noise. Yeah, probably. I think they'd have a bigger thing if it was voice lines.
I'll tell you what I reckon it is. It's when you smack someone, it's going to make a bloody crunching sound instead of the sound of like something dull hitting someone,
Surely
right?
It should be like a schnick noise.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
It's quite a big axe. Does a big axe make a schnick? Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, sure. So that's it. It's like it's a really, really huge update to the game, but we've talked about every single part of this before. So we probably shouldn't dwell on it too long.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Unless you have anything desperately pressing to say about matters. I'm looking forward to see Doomfist in game. I'm very excited about this.
I'll be interested to see if this is enough for Zarya to become a thing again, because Zarya... I just don't think this is going to be the right thing to bring Zarya back in.
Is Zarya good against Doomfist?
No, maybe?
Is anyone good? He's good against Doomfist. Reaper is, right?
McCree's good against Doomfist.
Okay.
Because
I guess Sombra is, because once he's hacked, he's a big lump of...
Yeah, but he's got quite a nice spread on... He's got so many abilities to interrupt the hack.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not sure that's where it is. Winston?
Farah kind of dunks on him, right?
Oh, yeah. Farah's really... you're really going to struggle against Farah. What are you going to do against them?
Yeah. Anyway, I can't wait to see how it actually pans out, especially in comp. We'll see.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. This week, there have been some very subtle, unannounced Lucio PTR changes.
Hey, wait, have these gone live now?
No, it's in PTR.
It's only in PTR?
Yeah.
There's a new PTR?
Well, no. But this is in the PTR and it's been noticed this week.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe it did get updated, because they run out those tiny PTR updates, right?
Yeah.
And they don't even register as big updates.
Well, yeah, but also
anyway,
I was wondering if maybe like this has gone live in the real game, because the stuff from the PTR just went live.
Oh, I haven't tested. I doubt it. I think this is a glitch.
Yeah, sounds like a glitch. Anyway, tell people what it is.
Yes, we'll stop leaving you on tenterhooks. Is it tenterhooks or is it tenterhooks?
I think it's tenterhooks, but I don't know.
What are tenterhooks?
They're hooks that you put tenters on. Duh.
I guess so. So, anyway, sorry, we keep teasing this and we never quite tell you what has... okay, so, it's not even that exciting. When Lucio is wall riding, he goes fast and he jumps off the wall and goes fast. He now goes equally as fast sideways and backwards as he does forwards while wall riding.
Sure. I don't know what that means. I assume it just means like you can have a little bit more momentum when you're going not forwards.
Yeah, exactly that. You just go a bit faster. I don't know if that's intentional. It's subtle.
Backwards, if it's backwards, it makes me think not, because backwards, you meant to go slower, right?
Yeah,
maybe not.
Like,
because
when
it's
you're on
riding.
rollerblades, you really don't go slower backwards and forwards.
Maybe you don't. I tried to slow down. I'm going backwards. I don't want to go fast. Anyway.
It's not like you're that aerodynamic, Gray.
Are you calling me fat?
No, because you're claiming.
Anyway.
Let's move on. Right.
Yes.
There was the Doomfist development talk at San Diego Comic-Con. And this has been a pain to get information on because there wasn't any official recording of it, which makes me really sad. Blizzard, if you're listening, I would love there actually be a recording of this kind of thing so that people after the fact can have been in on talks like this. Anyway, from various sources around the internet and people taking pictures from the crowd, there's a lot of interesting stuff about Doomfist development. There's a clip of video running around which shows Doomfist picking up rocks and hussing them at a flying Farah and then knocking her out of the air.
That's kind of hilarious, but I mean, like, so was the ability you literally just pull up a piece of the ground?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. I like it. Did you leave potholes?
No, not that I know of.
No, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, totally. And like, it talks about Doomfist at first being a tank, but then they were like, we cannot possibly have, because they had this balance issue that they wanted Doomfist fist to feel like, boom, oh my god, you got hit by something big. But then if they had a superly high health character who was hard to kill, who also did this crazy fisting damage, then that was obviously an issue. So eventually they moved him over to a DPS. And
I think that makes a lot of sense. Like the whole way that he sounds like he should be a tank. He kind of looks like he should be a tank. He's a lot bulkier than most of the DPS.
Yeah,
but
it would be horrible if he was a tank.
Oh, I totally agree. I think that such a high mobility hero with the sort of abilities that he has, like having a charge that's on cooldown, on very short cooldown, it's not going to be pleasant to play against. Yeah. Interestingly,
when they were doing that switch with Doomfist, they mentioned they didn't want another Roadhog situation.
That makes a lot of sense to me. You got to learn as you go forwards. I think I'm glad they're learning about like what things kind of aren't fun in this particular style of FPS.
Yep. Other interesting tidbits. Doomfist ult used to be part of Orissa's kit.
Oh, really?
Yep. Can you imagine Orissa just launching into the air and splattering down on people?
That would be amazing. It makes so much more sense on Doomfist. I can't even try to make an argument for it being on Orisa and not Doomfist, but I prefer the imagery of it with Orisa.
Yeah, there was a bit where Doomfist was like grabbing people, using them as human shields and throwing them off cliffs, but they didn't want him to be, in Goodman's own words, he's not a wrestler, he's not a luchador.
Fair enough. But I do want a luchador skin.
I know, right? Now it's been said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway.
Summer Games, right?
I guess. Is Lucha Libre, is that a summer game?
It can... Everything's a summer game. You play it in the summer, it's a summer game.
I guess so. Anyway, there's a load of stuff out there on the internet. It's really hard to find because it's just spread out over everywhere. We've got a couple of things in the show notes. If you want to check them out, go there. It'll be great.
Wunderbar.
Now, there has been some pictures, again from SDCC, of what appears to be a comic with Zarya in Dorado protecting an Omnic.
Is Zarya going to have a turnaround in personality? Is she going to lose that racism? Or is she just going to be like situationally like, no, this ain't cool?
Well, she appears to be defending the Omnic from, is it Los Muertos?
Los Muertos. The
gang.
Yeah.
The neon gang.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a lot of discussion about whether this was legit or not. And moving on to the forum stuff, it is legit. Michael Chu. Is it Michael Chu?
It is Michael Chu.
Yeah. He has confirmed that, yes, that is a thing. There's a Zarya comic turning up. He also, very importantly, in the same post, confirms that there are no ARG plans at the moment. Yes.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm really liking the way they're releasing heroes at the moment. They're just like, here's a new hero. He's on the PTR. Go. Well, she's on the PTR.
Yeah,
it's on the PTR. They're on the
constant
PTR.
like, here's a teeny tiny bit of information, but we're going to make you work for more. Even though you can't be bothered working for more, we're going to make other people work for more. Oh, just the whole thing.
No, I'm so down with the way that they're doing it. They're just like, they're ready, play them, do it. And they give you a bit of lore with them, and then you get to play them. I'm really happy with it. Really good.
Yep. But I don't think we've really got anything more to say about a Zaya comic. It'll be cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
Interesting to see how her character develops.
Yes, absolutely. And the reflections in-game.
The reflections?
Well, yeah, because in-game, they change voice lines to reflect what happens in other events.
Yes, this is true. Okay, so other forum stuff. Hog changes. Someone guessed what they should do with Hog, and Jeff Goodman basically said, that's exactly what we're trying. So what they're currently trying with Hog in the PTR, because in case you haven't missed it, Hog is not in a great place right now. He's just a bit... They've taken away his hook and kill one-shot combo, and he's floundering.
Yeah.
And what they don't want to do is give him all that damage back in a different way, because at the minute he's not a tank. Well, I mean, before he wasn't a tank. He's still not a tank now, because like a tank should be tanking damage as opposed to sniping people. If you're sniping people, you're a DPS, right? So the current direction they're taking him with is that he has a 50% damage reduction while taking a breather, which is his heal function.
Yeah.
Which is cool. They've also been experimenting with letting him go at full movement speed while taking a breather.
So, you know what the problem with this is, right?
That he's monstrously hard to kill?
Well, not so much. That's okay. I don't think that's a big problem.
Okay, what do you think is a problem then?
It's exactly what they did with Bastion. It is...
How so?
Okay, so Bastion used to not be able to move whilst healing.
Yeah.
And so they gave him the ability to move whilst healing. And then they gave him damage reduction.
Yeah. And it didn't save Bastion.
It didn't save Bastion.
Mind you...
The other thing is, like, the problem with these changes is it doesn't make Hog better at what he's good at. You know?
What is he good at?
Well, the point where he's kind of not good at anything right now, but like, what makes the Hog, he's not good at anymore. Like, the thing that was good was the hook and the ability to pull someone and one-shot them.
But having a tank sniper is...
I agree, but the question is, how do you keep Hog without, like... Because all they're doing for me is he's got this repositioning thing, right, where he hooks someone, gets them out of position, and your team can kill them. Yeah, is it good enough? Maybe. I
they're saying that with the damage reduction, Hog is less of an ult battery for the other team. And with the speed at full moving. I mean, Jeff Goodman's saying on the PTR they're finding him too powerful in this state.
It's interesting. I don't know.
Because you just can't kill him.
I guess. I don't know. I suppose you would have to play test it. I just worry that this is like... The more you move heroes together and closer to each other, like having Reaper and Roadhog...
I don't think this is moving him closer to another hero, is it?
I think the overall movement of Roadhog has been to be more generic because the hook's not as strong because it does one shot, and yeah, it's kind of that movement whilst healing thing which Bastion also has. It's kind of like he's just not as interesting and unique as he was. I'd be interested in finding ways. I'd be interested in finding ways for his hook to be stronger. But
I think comparing Hog to the old Hog is the wrong way to think about it.
Maybe
like you wouldn't be like if Hog was just dropped into the game in this new state after the PTR, you wouldn't be saying this guy needs a hook shot insta kill, otherwise he doesn't have his own identity.
But I'm not talking about one shotting. I'm thinking about like making the hook stronger in a way. I don't know what the answer is.
Is that like the thing that defines Roadhog is his hook, and if they could find some way to make that his shtick without. Without just one-shot killing.
That's what I'm going for.
It is a tough one.
Absolutely. But I feel like they painted themselves a little bit into the corner with Roadhog and Widowmaker in a similar way. But I think hopefully that just means that's something they learn from, and we get more interesting heroes out of that learning in the future.
Yeah, I think as a general principle, the idea that you die in a game like this with no interplay kind of sucks.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
So, yeah.
One of the things that makes this game so fun is the higher time to kill. So it means that you can do interesting team synergies and interesting battles.
And also just that, like, as soon as you see someone, there's not just a Twitch thing of who's dead and who's not.
Yeah.
You get to have the strategy of placing, yada, yada, all that stuff. Anyway, in addition to them looking at Roadhog, they are looking at Junkrat.
No surprise.
It's an interesting one. Junkrat is one of the most picked heroes in Quick Play.
Yeah, but he doesn't... It's interesting because he's actually quite a unique hero in the whole of Overwatch. In terms of like what he does, his whole shtick of like arced area denial is not very... I suppose Zarya's got arcs, but that's about it. Hanzo, but not really.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make use of the arc, so it's kind of interesting. But he's got this problem of he just... I feel like he lacks a low skill floor. Like,
how do you mean?
As in, he can be quite easy to pick up. And because he like the difference between his skill floor and his skill ceiling, I don't think is that different.
Well, I mean, that's what they're trying to fix.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm kind of interested.
I mean, we should have the disclaimer on this conversation for our listeners. Grey hates Junkrat because he's a Genji main.
Yes. None of this is untrue.
Okay, so all I'm saying is that just, we have to take that into account when listening to your opinions on Junkrat.
Okay, so here's the thing about Junkrat. I'd like for Junkrat to have a higher skill ceiling so that he can do more interesting things.
Yeah.
I think that...
Let's talk about the changes, because that's basically what they're giving him.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, the concussion mine, they're reducing the damage on it.
Makes sense.
The trap, they are increasing the damage on. But then they are reducing the cooldown on the mine to 4 seconds. 4 seconds. That's monkey jumping.
That
means he's going to have mines all the time. Junkrat is actually becoming a mobility hero.
I don't think that's what the mine's going to be used for.
No?
No, because the thing about the mine is it goes through shields, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be a kind of spam as well.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think massively it's going to be used for going through any sort of shield to massively displace people and deal a huge amount of damage to anyone who's too close to each other.
Oh god, this does make the dive meta. I mean, this is destroying the shield game even more, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm also worried about, like, I just don't find the spam fun. Like, I find that a game where where your main difficulty is getting in close because they're just throwing stuff down a hallway, I don't find that to be fun. I don't find it to be interesting in terms of interplay.
That's area denial, though. You just don't go down the hallway, right? I mean, you find a different thing. Although, admittedly, in a game with so many chokes, it's a thing.
Yeah, think about things such as not King's Row, Hollywood first. Like, the chokes are kind of brutal there.
I don't think this makes Junkrat significantly better in that way because, I mean, the damage is reduced. Like, he doesn't have the kind of, like, grenade, mine, insta-kill debris.
But what he will have is just the ability to reduce the overall health of a large amount of heroes as you're going from the choke to the point. And do that, and do more of that. I think it's going to be more consistent. That's my concern.
Maybe. I think what they're trying to do here is give him much more mobility so that he can, throw out mines much more often.
Maybe. I don't think that's how it's going to be used. That's my sense.
I mean, they're also saying that in internal builds, Junkrat has 2 charges of his concussion mine to do like crazy jumping in the air and stuff.
I think that's really cool. I'm just not sure that's how it's going to be. I suppose it depends on how much the damage reduction is.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to want to give Junkrat more crazy spam. I think they're doing this for... Okay, so in fact, talking with Joker about one of the things he misses about TF2 is crazy rollouts and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And having all this mine jumping is giving Junkrat this crazy skill ceiling where you can just do insane things.
So the thing that I would like to see them change about Junkrat is reducing the radius of his primary fire to increase the distance that he can fire, though, because at the moment the fire distance is really quite short. Like,
yeah. But if you do that, he basically gets close to Hanzo, which
maybe
if you get the grenades going so fast and.
Maybe. I think you can still make changes around that. Maybe he does become.
But again, like
if he becomes just a better
coming
Hanzo,
from
that's
your
problem.
kind of not wanting to die to spam as Genji thing.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I just think like having faster moving projectiles with a larger arc, but you can like hit those direct, is going to be more interesting than.
If they're faster though, he's just like he becomes a Pharah, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Like we had a very similar thing in TF2. There was this gun called the Lock and Load.
Oh yeah,
which was just really fast grenades, and it wasn't.
Yeah, but to be fair, that did more damage than his standard.
Yeah. But
thing.
this one will have the same clip size because they won't be changing that, right? Well, maybe they will. Who knows? But yeah. Anyway, they're looking at Junkrat and they're doing it in interesting ways, which is something I really appreciate.
Yes, they're making Junkrat more Junkrat-y.
Yes. Oh, now a really big announcement is the in-game reporting and penalty system improvements.
Yes, and this is live.
Yes. Although, right, here's the thing. They have this big announcement that everyone's talking about. It's by how do you pronounce that?
Leodilla.
Sure. Community manager. Now, they don't actually say anything in the announcement. They just say, okay, the big bold thing is, to this end, effective immediately, we'll be issuing increased penalties to players in response to verified reports of bad behaviour.
Yes.
We don't get to know what that means.
Oh, is it in terms of what the penalties are?
Yeah, I mean, and also how they'll be applying them. I mean, I'm glad they're looking at that, and I guess in a way they can't talk about the specifics of, you know, what their metrics are for banning people and such. But
because otherwise it's abusable, right?
Yeah. Although they do say that they're kind of going to be coming down hard on people who try to abuse the system, which is good. And they're also going to give you a heads up when someone you've reported actually gets action taken against them to make the reporting function seem...
I actually think that's a good idea.
Yep, totally. I'm hoping this will make the game a wonderful place where being a jerk becomes, you know, an issue for people.
I think that slowly but surely, this isn't going to be the only thing. They're going to have to do more things, but I think this is an important step.
Yeah. But basically, this announcement means it's gone live, and in fact... I think we should talk about this next week when we start seeing the results of this, when we know who's getting banned for what, because people will be whinging about stuff. And we'll start seeing, like, how many people actually get timeouts by this.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be
then
interesting.
We will have a much better idea of how... Oh, now this is one I added. Jeff has the patience of a saint, just because Jeff does a lot of this on the forums. He's basically trying to explain to someone that... Okay, so someone has asked... Why don't Blizzard differentiate between someone who like drops out of a game accidentally and someone who does it on purpose? And the answer to that is because you literally have no way of telling if someone just yanks their internet cable out the wall.
It is impossible.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
Yeah. And also, you don't know why someone's left the game. Like, if they hear their baby dying in the background, then it is the right thing for them to do to bail out of that comp game. And
is it though? Think about your
definitely.
teammates.
And, you know, take that hit for yourself. Your own SR goes down, but yeah.
Yep. No, I agree.
So it's nice that Jeff is answering people in such ways.
I have a feeling it's not going to make that much of a difference. And it's a shame, but Jeff's right.
Yeah, we'll see. An interesting little tidbit. Someone asks if Overwatch will be getting reformed. Not the game Overwatch. We're talking in the lore. Will Overwatch be getting back together? And Jeff says that old 76, he's a mess. He's probably not going to be doing much. But Winston initiating the recall was a big thing, and that kind of foreshadows things to come.
Who
I don't know what that
knows
means,
where the story will go from here?
but that's exciting, I thought.
Yeah, I like the lore building they're doing. They've done a lot of work on the world of Overwatch since it came out, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, totally.
It feels like a developing world.
Yes, although the Doomfist stuff recently has felt very kind of skin deep.
Okay.
The way that we know that like Doomfist was just literally a MacGuffin, and they were like, we should, like, they didn't have any plan for Doomfist at all. They were just like, let's work out what kind of fits in. And
So the way I think of it is a bit like a D&D game that everyone's part of. Everyone's a spectator of. Where like the someone's taking
DM sometimes has to wing it because the players just go down some blind alley.
Everybody wanted Doomfist, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, go on, Doomfist, go on, that'll be fun."
But here's the thing: they put a MacGuffin, the Doomfist, in the very first cinematic, like plugging the game, and they didn't really have a plan. I'm like, say what? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess it was just a thing. Anyway, let's move on.
Yes. Okay, our final tidbit of forum information is Jeff basically reaffirming something which I find very comforting, that they do not want to balance Overwatch around specifically comp or casual. They need to keep both in mind. And I think that's really good.
I generally agree. I do have this sense that possibly looking at competitive... I don't know. I totally agree. You want to make sure that it's always fun for both. But I wonder if overall the numbers slowly bear out that balancing for comp is better for the game overall. I'm not sure of that.
In
not
what
sure.
way?
So it's one of those things of like when people...
If you balance in a way that makes it... Sorry. If you balance in a way that makes it more fun for... 5% of the player base, but less fun for the other 95. Then you're screwing the game. Like, you can balance for comp, but then if you don't have the player base, it's meaningless.
Absolutely. No, I do agree. And I just... It's not that I want them to make it unfun in casual. I think it's a very important thing to keep in mind because otherwise people won't come back. But I hope that, like, it's one of those things of I think competitive should be leading, and then casual should be like the kind of counterweight to that.
Why?
Because I think that there are more changes that will make... That's a good question. I'm not sure. Is
it just because you play lots of comp?
I wonder if it's because I play in the top few percent.
Yeah.
The way that the game appears to me is the way that it appears to comp people.
What we see of Overwatch is massively skewed.
It's true.
So, I just think... So, it's something that we saw a lot of in the Team Fortress 2 comp scene, and why that never really took off, was that there was this massive disconnect between the comp scene and the casual scene, and it was a problem. And I think the tightrope that Blizzard are walking, I'm just really glad they're willing to walk that tightrope and they're not committing to either side, which would suck.
Yes, I do agree. I think it's very difficult to do as well. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's tough. So that was things.
Yep, cool.
Now, speaking of comp, serious salaries, it's basically an announcement that's gone out about how the Overwatch League is going to work in a bit more detail.
Yes, specifically about how much players are going to be earning, and then some other few tidbits as well.
Yeah, and there are a guaranteed minimum salary of $50,000 a year.
Which sounds pretty damn good.
It seems pretty sensible.
Yeah.
I think it's not actually that much when you look at how many hours these people are going to be putting in, but it's, a position that lots of people are going to be vying for, so that affects how much you're going to pay for such things. I suspect the best players, if the league takes off, will be getting paid a lot more than that.
Oh, I totally imagine, because they also are going to get at least 50% of the winnings. So also, if you want the best player on your team, then you're going to have to offer more than $50K a year. Absolutely.
Because if they can get $50K any old place, then yeah,
absolutely. The thing that I would say about this, there's two things. One, $50,000 a year is different in different places.
Yeah.
If you live in the middle of nowhere, $50,000 goes a lot further than if you live in the middle of New York, for example.
This is true.
But one thing that's really cool is the what's his name? The teams, the owners of the teams, will be providing housing as well. So this $50,000 a year is just going straight into their pocket, and it's not going to be most of it's not going to be spent on rent. So that's a huge bump in terms of how much they actually take away. So good, 2 thumbs up for that as well. Yeah,
but also things like players getting health insurance and retirement plans and such. It's serious. It's this is esports kind of growing up, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so stuff. There's a load more details. We could go on about this for ages, but I don't think it's like, super. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Supporting teams through Twitch.
Yes. Now, this is kind of cool. This isn't directly related to Overwatch. This is actually related to Heroes of the Storm, but it's probably going to come to Overwatch as well.
Okay,
Because
explain it to me like I'm 5.
basically, Blizzard has made a deal with the streaming service called Twitch. On Twitch, you can spend money on Twitch to buy these things called bits. And you can spend these bits by...
Oh, you can also watch adverts to get bits or something, can't you?
You can also watch adverts to get bits. You've got to watch a lot of them.
Okay.
But yeah, you can also do this thing called cheering. So what cheering does is you say, I want to cheer for 100 bits. And that means you spend 100 of your bits and you give that to whoever you're watching. What they've decided to do...
So this is the kind of cheering that's like tucking dollar bills into the thongs of strippers.
Absolutely. But
Okay,
instead of...
that kind of cheering.
Yeah, instead of, songs, it's more the kind of like whatever the players happen to be wearing. And it's digital, so they're not actually tucked. They're sort of just like digitally stored away for them.
Okay.
But yeah, essentially what you can do is you can give bits to your teams by using that team's icon to cheer.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. It's a way of supporting your teams. One thing, I don't know, did we mention that they said something about being able to buy in-game items for Overwatch?
To support teams.
Support
We've
teams.
talked about that in the past. That is a thing.
We've talked that in the past, but they've actually said something about, that being a possibility. So I'm so up for that. I'm really hoping that happens. Because that's just a really good way of... depending on the split, but that's a really good way of being able to support your team. To be able to, literally wear, their jersey or whatever. So, yeah.
It's kind of cool, right?
Really, really cool. 2 thumbs up. I love the way that they're kind of creating ways for the teams to make money. Create ways of support. So, yeah, loads of good stuff this week.
Exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, this is a good length for the show.
Yeah? Should we stop?
Yeah. I want to play some games.
Oh, go on then.
We'll see you all later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.